Nestled in the foothills of New Hampshire's White Mountains, surrounded by perennial gardens, majestic pines, and next to one of the purest lakes in all of New England, there's a century-old grouping of classic wood buildings and dormitories. For much of the year, this place is quiet, still, waiting, with only the sounds of a running stream, birds, or wind in the trees. However, at the beginning of each summer, a vibrant community comes alive. From as many as 20 states and 10 different countries, boys converge on the shores of Newfound Lake to spend 7 weeks living in harmony with nature, having fun, and learning essential life skills to become independent and confident young men. With more than a century of tradition, Camp Mowglis has a proud history of inspiring young boys to be leaders, teaching responsibility, building social skills, and forging friendships.
Are they 2, 3, 4?
So Camp Mowglis is on 160 acres right on Newfound Lake in New Hampshire. We're a smaller camp. We only have about 95 kids total. It's small by design, and it's really a friendly, welcoming community. We have a 4-to-1 camper to counselor ratio, so the kids are very well supervised, and almost all of our counselors were campers here themselves.
Mowglis boys and their counselors form a family-like community. A majority of the camp's devoted staff members were once campers and remain involved because Mowglis is a place they feel very passionate about.
If I had gone to an activity camp, say for like lacrosse or tennis, I would most certainly not be the person I am today. Camp taught me to not push the limits, but to expand your comfort zone. When I came here, my comfort zone was very small. And by the time I graduated, by the time I became a staff, and even now it's still expanding. And I've learned that the more it expands, the more surface area you have to expand into other fields in addition to that. And I think I was a better person for being here.
I went through all the dorms as a camper and was on the staff for several years. This is going to be my 11th year on the staff and my 3rd year as the assistant director.
Adding to the atmosphere of tradition, many campers are from families who have sent their sons to Mowglis for generations. Each summer, there are boys who will enjoy the same campfire circle that their fathers, grandfathers, and even great-grandfathers did many years before, and will again when they return to visit.
There are quite a few families who have 3 generations or maybe even 4. And I was proud to see the tradition carried on, and now on to the grandchildren, who I only have 2 boys as grandchildren, and they're both in camp.
The campers live, play, and engage in challenges together every day, summer after summer. Through the brotherhood of the pack, the boys learn to get along with many different personalities and how to find their own place within a community. Over the past century, the camp has helped thousands of boys become strong, confident, and principled leaders.
Campers at Camp Mowglis are totally unplugged from technology. They're hiking or out on the lake. Obviously they're interacting with each other and with their activities and with nature, but not doing anything tech while they're here. The whole day is run by a series of bugles that are played by real buglers here at camp.
Without cell phones and computers, boys gain a new appreciation for a good joke told around the campfire, summer sunsets, cool swims in the lake on a hot summer day, or other simple yet meaningful life experiences. 160 acres of forest, miles of trails to explore, and 16 different activities help to make it easier for the boys to leave technology behind. Instead of spending their days watching TV or surfing the net, Mowglis campers will be climbing to the summits of mountains, singing goodnight songs under the stars, canoeing remote stretches of river, taking daily soaks in the lake, and improving their skills at everything from archery, swimming, and windsurfing to arts and crafts, drama, and photography.
Camp's very fun, cause we get to get new things. Like, I learned a new card game this year, and I've got new friends, and I've tried new things and had new desserts. And
it's like having brothers. I just feel like at home when I'm here, because it's a nice place to be at.
Camp Mowglis is an extraordinary place. Many alumni, including a number who've gone on to graduate from America's top schools, say it was the most formative experience of their lives.
My wife did not go to camp. She was in North Jersey during the summers, and I have a 6- and 8-year-old, and I was trying to explain to her why it might be a valuable thing to send our kids to camp. And she said, well, what are the benefits? I said, remember when we climbed above the tree line the first time after we got married? And she said, yeah. I said, I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't done it as a camper.
You just can't get at a school or at home the experiences that you have here.
Envision the young cub that on his second day away from home descends the hope-to-be steps and timidly wades out into Newfound Lake for the first time. Fast forward 7 years, and that same boy, now a senior member of the Den, is ascending Mount Washington, the highest peak in the Northeast, as part of Mowgli's elite hiking squad. Campers arrive at Mowgli as boys and leave as young men, ready to face the challenges and opportunities that await them as adults.
I think the Mowgli experience is one of learning how to look after other people and be aware of the people you're with, and to help them whenever you can. I think that's the spirit of Mowgli, is this cognizance that your value is what you can do to help somebody else.
7- to 9-year-old boys come to Mowgli as cubs. They spend their summer under the supervision of a cub mother in a special part of camp known as Cubland.
So in Cubs, we focus a lot on social skills, getting along with one another, how to get along living in a dorm with a bunch of other boys. A lot of kids have never had to do that before or have been only children, so it's like having a bunch of brothers. We teach them about taking care of chores, daily things that need to get done that maybe they don't want to do, but they learn the value in doing these things and how it benefits them later.
In this nurturing environment, the cubs can set goals and achieve them during the summer, building their confidence.
We want to give them a sample of everything that's at camp and keep them in groups together and prepare them for creating a customized program for themselves later, when they'll be choosing their own industries and focusing on getting ribbons and earning requirements and things like that. Whereas now they shouldn't be worrying about earning ribbons. They should just focus on doing the best they can do in each industry and trying it out and seeing where they fit, what they like, what suits them the best. We try to integrate the cubs a lot with the pack during daytime activities and meal times, but then after those are through, we come back up to Cubland where the boys can have their own time. The pack's not allowed up here, so it's just the younger guys who get a chance to play.
This provides an excellent foundation for when they join the main camp, known as the Mowgli Pack.
Cub Mom is great because I feel like I have an influence on these kids. I feel like, it's almost like being a mother, but it's getting the best part of their day every day. And they do so many exciting things here, and I get to hear about it from 17 kids.
Campers become part of the pack at age 10, and then move up through dorms separated by age until they reach Den, where they will graduate from the program at age 14 or 15.
You have to graduate, you can't just do whatever you want in Den. And so there's graduation requirements where you have to do a certain amount of things. You have to have your green ribbon, which is for camping. You have to have another ribbon, can be any ribbon you choose. You have to do a Den project. All these things aren't that hard, it's just they require you to pretty much have a lot of skills for Mowgli, so that way you leave and go into high school with all your acquired Mowgli skills.
As the oldest members of the pack, the Denites serve as mentors and role models to the younger Mowgli campers. Many boys who graduate from the pack choose to continue on to a leadership program known as Yearlings, and then continue on as junior and senior staff. Mowgli offers young boys a learning experience, an opportunity to challenge themselves that goes far beyond the offerings of a traditional summer camp. The Mowgli experience is born of more than a century of mentoring young boys, with the camp's core values and traditions handed down through each generation.
It's a place where you gain a lot of confidence. You are challenged. You set your goals, you meet your goals, and by doing that, you learn that there's nothing that can stand in your way in life.
I see the personal expansion as a whole in camp. The boys go through it the same way I did, and I am constantly encouraging them to expand in the same way I did, and I know there are other members of the staff who follow my lead and do the same thing. You know, a kid's nervous about something, you sit down, you talk to him, and you do it with him, and that's how you get somebody to expand their comfort zone. You don't just throw them into the fire. You don't hold their hand, but you stand by them.
They definitely benefit from camp. They can find a sense of self here, and develop their own personalities, and find, you know, a distinct difference between themselves and their parents.
Boys learn the importance of working to achieve a goal and then receive recognition for that achievement. Each boy has the opportunity to excel in many more activities at camp than he could ever engage in during a summer at home. At Mowgli, these activities are called industries. Campers choose specific industries they'd like to focus on, but are also given the opportunity to try all industries throughout the summer if he chooses.
We sing a lot of songs. You know, singing in groups is something that you just don't really see anymore. We have the Madrigal Society, all the staff and adults get up and they sing on stage, and the boys just light up. They just absolutely love it, and they can't wait to be in the madrigals.
In addition to summer camp staples like tennis, sailing, and swimming, some of the unique industries offered at Mowgli include riflery, axemanship, and woodworking. Mowgli is also well known throughout the White Mountains for its hiking and camping industries. Those who have mastered both have traversed the most difficult terrain in the Northeast and possess a solid foundation in wilderness camping skills. Other boys come to camp specifically for its outstanding crew program, which has been around nearly as long as Mowgli itself. Special 6-man crew boats are used to give boys as young as 10 an early start in the sport. The design of these boats was created exclusively for the camp back in 1911 to provide a sturdy and safe training vessel, especially for younger Mowgli. Though a camper eventually graduates from the pack, he will always be part of an extended Mowgli family that spreads around the globe. The adult lives of former campers have taken them in many different directions, but their shared experiences at Mowgli have created an enduring bond with the camp and each other. What cements this bond between so many generations of campers is the tradition at the heart of the Mowgli experience, whether a boy first attended in 1903 or today. Every camper recalls nightly gatherings around the campfire and, for those that earn 4 industry ribbons or more, the honor of sitting in the inner circle.
I think Mowgli has a way that to help young boys grow at their own rate and think for themselves.
As I've seen the boys get older, I see that they definitely have embraced themselves more, and that they're comfortable in their skin, and they speak their mind, and they let their personalities shine, and I think that's really important for them in the adult world when they need to have that confidence.
I like Camp Mowgli because I feel like no other camp offers what this camp has to offer, like the different activities, the food, the people. I feel like it's very unique.
What the camp experience provides is an opportunity to grow as an individual.
He doesn't have to climb a mountain to learn something about himself, but if he climbs a mountain, he learns other things about himself that he never knew. So a whole different aspect of an individual is developed as they learn how to climb a mountain, develop sustenance, to be able to sustain themselves through challenges, and even I learned many of those things as we, went through the experience of Mowgli.
Lessons learned at Mowgli provide a sense of independence, understanding of oneself and the outside world, a summer of fun, and a lifetime of memories.